Guys, I think I may have just found the next Nvidia. Unless you've been living under a rock lately, you've probably seen what's going on with Nvidia. Its share price has gone absolutely parabolic. You can see what I mean in this chart here. Nvidia has been going crazy for a couple reasons. Number one, there's a ton of excitement about artificial intelligence right now, and Nvidia is the undisputed leader in this red hot industry. Nvidia also just crushed earnings. Today it delivered earnings, and its sales and earnings came in higher than expected. It also delivered guidance that was well above expectations, and this caused the stock to just absolutely explode after hours. The last I checked, it was up 24% in the after hours session, which is just a tremendous move for a huge company like Nvidia. And when you factor in that move, Nvidia closed the after hours session around 380. So that's about call it 250% above where it was last October. And it's also about 160% up year to date when you use that after hours price. So just a tremendous move. Stocks like this don't come around often, but they're absolutely worth hunting for. And I think I may have found a little known company that could fit the bill and has the potential to be the next high flying stock in the stock market. And that would be TOST. So TOST is a software company that helps restaurants with point of sale and payments and that sort of thing. It also assists with online ordering. All told, the company serves about 74,000 restaurants nationwide or worldwide. And I didn't see too many recognizable brands on there. I think it's mostly your mom and pop and smaller restaurant brands. But I did see Jenny's ice cream on there. And if you haven't had Jenny's ice cream, be sure to check it out. But anyways, back to TOST. I know the company probably doesn't sound as exciting as Nvidia, but what's drawn me to TOST is not anything like AI hype or anything like that. What has me intrigued about this company is this guy. So here we're looking at Stanley Druckenmiller. So Stanley Druckenmiller is a legendary investor, legendary trader. Some would even say he's the greatest trader of all time. He's got over 4 decades of experience investing. And during that stretch, he's never had a down year. Even in 2008, his fund returned 11% return when most funds were getting blown up and your average investor was losing everything. He was still finding a way to have a very respectable return that year. He even had a stretch during his career where he compounded his assets at 30+% annually for 30 straight years. So just really remarkable stuff. And there's a reason he's so respected within the investment community and among investors. And I mentioned him because in the fourth quarter of last year, he placed a high conviction bet on Nvidia. According to the site HedgeMind, Nvidia was his 3rd largest investment in that quarter. And Druckenmiller did what he often does, is when Nvidia had this big run up, he added to his winners. So that's just part of his investing style. And the first quarter of this year, he increased his position in Nvidia by 36%. So it was a very high conviction bet in Nvidia that has paid off very handsomely for Druckenmiller. One of many times he's just hit the ball out of the park and it's a grand slam type trade. And I mentioned that because according to HedgeMind, Druckenmiller also initiated a small position in TOST during the first quarter of this year, and he wasn't alone. Hedge funds all told increased their stakes in TOST by about 13% quarter over quarter. So the stock's starting to attract more institutional investors. And when you have the likes of Stanley Druckenmiller taking a position in your company, it's definitely worth noting. But that's not the only reason I'm attracted to TOST right now. It's also an incredible business like Nvidia. So again, this is another post from HedgeMind, and this one looked at the recent earnings report. And we can see here that the revenues for the period were up 53% year over year. And that continued a long trend of really impressive growth for TOST. So we can see back in the first quarter of 2022, they had 90% growth, and then they had several 50% plus revenue growth quarters. They also have really strong subscription growth. So we had some triple-digit growth back here, and we're still growing that segment of the business at 70%. So overall, really, really strong fundamentals. You have the Druckenmiller endorsement as well, but I'm a trader, and so for me to get involved with a stock, I need to see strong chart, I need to see strong technicals, and TOST has that in spades. You can see here that TOST began its bottoming process back in May of last year, so it was well ahead of schedule. Something I really look for in stocks. Many of the stocks in the market right now that are performing exceptionally are these stocks that bottomed months before the indexes does. So TOST checks that box. We can also see more recently that it's starting to build out another base here. It's back above the 30-week and 10-week moving averages, so it's starting to get back on track again. I really like the buying volume that we've seen in recent weeks and just the strength we're seeing as well. So you can see here on the weekly, you can see we're working on our 7th straight weekly candle in a row. So this is really impressive strength from TOST. It's starting to reflect a change of character for the stock potentially. So that's what I'm seeing in TOST chart. But stocks also tend to move in groups, so you want to see some industry strength to really have a lot of conviction about investing in a stock. You want its sector and industry group to be doing well as well, and we're seeing that from software stocks. So this is IGV. This is the software sector ETF. When we zoom out on this ETF, we can see that this trend line that dates back to 2016 held a few times here. So it's still in a longer term trend line. It's after bottoming and testing that trend line a few times, it's now back above the pre-COVID highs. So that's encouraging. We're above the 30-week moving average. We're above the 10-week moving average. And last week we actually had our highest weekly close since August of last year. So some change of trend stuff out of software stocks lately. So that's encouraging to see the group strength from software stocks. I'm also liking what I'm seeing from the fintech group. So this is the ARK Fintech Innovation ETF. And while this group of stocks hasn't taken off running like software stocks have, what we can see here is an inverse head and shoulders bottoming process. So if it can break out of this bottoming structure here, I think it could run and run for some time because this is a longer term bottoming structure here. And we can see that we're back above the 30-week moving average, which is starting to turn higher, which to me suggests a possible longer term trend change is about to happen. We're also above its 10-week moving average as well. So just really liking what I'm seeing out of this fintech ETF. If it can, start to break out of this bottoming structure, then I think that would be good for stocks like TOST. And, if the software group as a whole also continues to do well, that would benefit TOST as well. So to wrap things up, TOST has the endorsement of Druckenmiller, really strong fundamentals. It's individual chart. There's a lot to like there. And then we're starting to see more constructive action out of its group, the software and the payment stocks. So definitely a lot to like. And while I realize that, TOST, it's not as exciting as AI to most people. But one advantage it does have over Nvidia is it's still growing its top line much faster than Nvidia. And it's a much smaller company. It's not even a $12 billion company yet. So it's longer term upside potential just due to its size. That favors TOST, I think. So just overall, really a lot to like about this stock. And I think it has the potential to be a big winner. And it never hurts to invest alongside Druckenmiller. So that's it for today. Hope you found this video informative. Thanks.